I wonder how many princes are already in the castle, Ebony said bitterly to Nova as she slowed down to a walk. She had hidden herself away when she had heard another prince was arriving the evening before. I am sure everyone your father invited will be here. She snorted at her inner dragon's reply. They better not have any high hopes of finding a mate tonight. I am not choosing any of them. She took a deep breath, trying to regulate her breathing after running so hard as she entered the clearing. What would have taken a normal shifter about an hour-and-a-half walk to get to the castle from the clearing had taken Ebony a little more than half an hour. Nova lent her some of her magic, which gave Ebony an extra boost of energy and speed. There were consequences, though. Between the sparring and the running, her energy supply had depleted fast. She needed food and a short nap, and she needed it now. Ebony had hidden her leather sparring outfit in a hole in the obsidian rock Nova created for her for emergencies. Ebony didn't like to use the hiding place, unless absolutely necessary. It wasn't fully waterproof. If it rained, the leather would get wet and then stiffen when it was dry. It was very difficult to appropriate the leather she needed to secretly make another one. But this was not the time to be discovered. Ebony felt like she was being watched more closely as her planned birthday festivities drew closer. She reluctantly left her precious training gear and clothes in the hidden compartment. She didn't want to be caught with it on, and Nova couldn't fly back once the sun was up either. No one knew about her. If a strange black dragon flew up to the castle, it would have caused an uproar, and her secret would have been revealed. Ebony would reveal her dragon to the world when it was absolutely necessary. Ebony smiled smugly to herself. She had beaten Davin soundly. She had restrained from drawing blood, but she knew that she had bruised him where the bruises could not be seen. Davin had even yelled for mercy. Ebony found that very satisfying. That was the first time she felt the student had truly become the master. Finally, thanks to Nova. "We did well today, Nova," Ebony exclaimed. "I didn't lend as much extra strength to you as I normally would today." "You did very well all by yourself," Nova said calmly with a hint of pride in her voice. "I think, though, that you should make sure you wear a gown tonight with long sleeves for the ball. I observed through your eyes that your arms were getting very muscular. I can hide myself from others, but I can't hide you or your physique." Nova paused. "Or your black eyes." That was the really awesome thing about Nova. Her old magic was so strong that she could hide her essence from other shifters. When someone shifts for the first time, dragons become aware of each other. Humans could recognize when someone has finally shifted only because their dragon would inform them, even if no one had seen the shift take place. But Nova was able to hide herself because of the ancient magic she had. She had hidden her presence from day one because she had been sent from Drago's paradise for a specific mission. Her magic surpassed all the younger dragons around her, including the king. King Liam's dragon could not detect her, even though he was the strongest dragon in Ilarion other than herself. The only thing that could not be hidden was the change in Ebony's eyes. They had changed from dark brown to black that day Ebony had first shifted. Those who didn't know her well didn't notice the difference immediately. Her parents had noticed the change the moment they saw her. Questions arose. Ebony had no explanation that she could give them, so she acted surprised and shrugged it off. King Liam was not happy with her careless response. He was sure she was hiding something, but he didn't know what. Nova knew that her presence had not been detected by anyone in Ilarion the first time they had shifted. She would calm Ebony and tell her constantly there was nothing to worry about. "It's going to be a warm night," Ebony commented dryly. "I will probably be the only person in long sleeves. Your fiery body heat will just add to the discomfort of the evening." Nova snorted. "You have other things to worry about than that. I don't think you are ready for anyone to notice that you have been training. Having long sleeves only reinforces the rumor that you haven't gotten your dragon yet. You have always been fit, and the changes in your physique have been gradual as you have grown. But a stranger may notice that you are stronger than the other women in Ilarion, and long sleeves and a full gown will help hide that." Nova sighed. "And it would be kind of nice if you found your mate tonight." "What?" Ebony exclaimed wildly. "No, that would ruin all my plans. I will be Queen of Ilarion. I do not want a mate." Ebony was devastated that Nova would say something like that, let alone think about it. "You know my plans, Nova," she said angrily. "You have helped me train from the start, even before we blackmailed Davin. I know I have always encouraged you. I agree with you that the laws of Ilarion concerning women are ridiculous and need to be changed. Nova said, as resentment bubbled up inside of her. If you believe that women can rule, why would you say that? She interrupted her dragon angrily. We agreed I don't need a mate. Nova sighed, trying to remain calm. You get to train in your human form. You get it to enjoy the food that is prepared for you. I can't even eat in my own form unless we spot a small deer on our way to meet with Davin. Then you rush me, so I can't take my time and enjoy the meal. The only dragon that I have communicated with since I came to you is Davin's dragon. He isn't particularly fond of me because of the way we have manipulated his host. She paused for a moment, her anger obvious in her voice. I definitely can't train with him. Everyone would hear or see us because I am too large to be hidden unless I am flying in the dark. I see, mused Ebony petulantly. What else have you been keeping from me? She asked. I am sure you have other thoughts and feelings you have not shared with me. You know there is more to ruling than knowing how to fight, right? You have a lot to learn before you are ready to rule, Nova snapped. There are many things we don't agree on. Really? Ebony said in disgusted disbelief. The image of Ebony's cruelty while training with Davin flashed through Nova's mind. Ebony had been downright ruthless. You took too much personal pleasure earlier in hurting Davin just because you were unhappy about your circumstances, Nova said, continuing her rant. Cruelty and ruthlessness have a place within a monarchy, but they should only be reserved for enemies, not the citizens that serve you. After this morning, Davin will never be loyal to you. If you can't take the throne peacefully and war breaks out, Davin could possibly be your biggest enemy. Is that all? Ebony asked arrogantly. I had hoped that I could guide you to be the best queen you could be. I am sure you were chosen for me because of your strong will and your ambition to right the wrongs that are being perpetrated on the women of Valerian. But I am beginning to fear I have failed you. I will be queen, not you, declared Ebony, unfazed by Nova's words. I will make my own decisions and you will heed them. I am not taking a mate today or tomorrow or the next day. Nova kept silent. She wasn't about to reveal that she had heard the word all dragons longed for. Mate echoed this morning through her whole body when she shifted at the window. Her mate was here. She didn't know exactly where or even who, but he was there somewhere in the castle. It had taken all the power within her to hide the thrill that had pulsed through her. Nova was sure that if he had sensed her presence, he was a powerful ancient dragon. Could it be her true mate had left the stars to find her? Memories stirred of the love that she had shared as a dragon with her mate even through their Hosentos. Nova had carefully used less of her magic when she had shifted back to Ebony. She couldn't accidentally reveal her presence again until she knew who the shifter was, and if his dragon was her true mate. She also knew her true mate would never approve of her allowing Ebony to be an unfit ruler. She hoped she could make him understand what little influence she had on the girl, and they would teach her together. If Ebony wanted to rule successfully in Alarion, changes in her character had to be made if she were to be a good and fair queen. Did your fire burn your tongue? Ebony asked sarcastically when Nova had nothing more to say. She smoothed out the skirt of her baggy, ugly brown dress. Hiking was the alibi she used to hide her training sessions with Davin. The horrible dress was the accessory. Ebony casually made her way to the gate. Do you think you have enough guards on the wall today? Are we planning to keep the guests captive? She asked the captain mockingly. The captain, who had been specifically told by the general not to let the princess get outside the castle, looked at Ebony in shock as she walked up to the gate. How did you get out of the castle this morning? He demanded. Ebony snorted. Cap, she said disrespectfully. I am the princess, if you have forgotten. The captain's face became red with anger as he struggled to keep his composure. On any other day, no one questions you. We all know you pretty much do whatever you want. But this morning I was told by the general that the king had ordered that you were not to leave the castle. This is a serious breach of security, and I want to know who helped you slip out outside the castle walls this morning. I didn't have anyone help me slip out, scoffed Ebony. I slipped out all by myself, unseen by anyone. That is not possible. There are too many soldiers on this wall for that to happen, the captain yelled, shooting spittle out of his mouth. Ebony nearly chuckled at the sight, slightly amused at his display of incompetence. She would have egged him on some more, but she was tired and hungry. She just wanted to get through the gate. If you say so, she replied insolently. Ebony's attitude was not doing anything to calm the captain down. I am going to take you to the king right now. You can explain to him how you got out of the castle walls. You need to tone it down a notch. Nova spoke softly in Ebony's head. We don't need to draw this kind of attention to ourselves today. Oh, all right, snapped Ebony at Nova. Hunger and weariness were not helping her normally sour disposition any. Look, honestly, no one helped me slip out of the castle. You are the best captain to ever take command of the castle wall guards. You have trained them all very well. She lied sweetly, trying to cajole him. The captain eyed Ebony distrustfully. Her sudden change in behavior did not go unnoticed. If my soldiers are so capable, how did you get past them? I snuck out through the servants' gate. I left very early before dawn while they were just getting up and starting their day. Ebony looked down and rubbed her hands on her dress. Do you think anyone would have recognized me in this dress in the dark? I don't believe a word that is coming out your mouth, he said through gritted teeth. I am taking you to the king. He walked swiftly to her and tried to grab her arm. Don't you touch me, she yelled, turning her head as she pulled away from him. She saw that the gate had been opened to allow a wagon full of fresh vegetables through. Nova, give me a bit more energy, she pleaded as she made a dash for the closing gate. On it, Nova replied in horror as she saw through Ebony's eyes 2 soldiers trying to push the castle gates shut before Ebony could reach them.